Our believers to the lies they're preaching. Think they're going to relieve us, sympathize and pitching. Well, listen, the hand that steals from you won't be no help when your problem need fixing. Will we ever learn or will we slowly die instead branded to the fact that Africa's still misled? Yeah, they always want to see us down while they turn the continent into a deadly playground.
In the Deep South, where the scars of injustice run long and wide, a vision was born, bold, unwavering, and rooted in the truth that liberation belongs to the people. In 1986, Project South was founded, not as a reaction, but as a strategy to confront white supremacy, to dismantle poverty, and to build the future our communities deserve.
This particular neighborhood was one of the first fully encompassed African-American neighborhoods. It was started by the Freedmen's Bureau Society, and it was done to educate freed slaves during the 1800s. So many of the families that moved into this neighborhood were first-generation families. We had a chance, my wife and I had a chance to sit at the feet of that second generation and learn about what the neighborhood used to be like, the businesses it had, the medical facilities it had. The neighborhood was self-sufficient.
We made the unimaginable imaginable. We made dreams come true, and we built schools, we built roads, we built institutions, we built infrastructure. This building we're in right now is part of the legacy of Brownsville. It's part of the legacy of Reconstruction. We are literally sitting on a foundation that was built in that era.
By 1906, there was a race massacre that happened that actually started down in what is now known as 5 Points. There was a mob that came up. These black communities were being attacked, and they came to burn it down. As you see, they were unsuccessful in burning it down.
That is so powerful, like to know where you really are and what has happened here. And to, like, for me, I think about how that can fortify the young people when you're at a school that, when you're a child and you're at a school that is known as being the worst school in the city, like that can have an effect on you. But if you were even taught like that building was built by the hands of your forefathers and foremothers, and you had something to be proud of.
There's our banner. So that's what we're doing here. And what we're hoping is that the young ladies that are inside of the health center will use their vouchers to buy healthy food, and we educate them on healthy versus unhealthy for themselves as well as their children.
I mean, there's so much history in here. It's wild to see some of these leaders and some people who passed away and some people who are still in the struggle with us. Sister Njeri,
who passed away,
and what was her role here at the Hunger Coalition?
And Jerry worked with community justice area. She would also go out and recruit volunteers to come in, and like myself. So I came in the Hunger Coalition as a volunteer working the Hunger Hotline. And people call in and need food, and I was able to, along with the other folks, to help them get food. So I came in as this young mother who wanted better for her kids, and so that played a big part in my role and my my path to the Hunger Coalition.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so deep because, before I knew any of that history of Njeri here at the Hunger Coalition, I first connected with Injiri at the WRFG studios. She did the program "What Good Is a Song" with Brother Bilal, who also just passed away. And but that "What Good Is a Song" program was right before You Speak Truth Radio, and so we would always have all these high school students from Carver High School and all the different schools in the studio. And I just saw this woman, you know, who was so good with the young people, so sincere, so genuine. And so we started really working together, and she really supported YST Radio. But little did I know, she knew Project South and the Hunger Coalition, you know, from way before I was even there. And some of those relationships in this work, it's like that is part of the fabric that holds the work together, is these relationships, you know, that we've been building organizationally all these years. But that's incredible. In movement work in general, the foundation of that work is community. And so I think the power of collective action is organizing, and that takes community.
For me, I'm a walker in the neighborhood, so that just means talking to people in the neighborhood. It gives me the opportunity to see who's there, talk to them, maybe help them out. Something might have happened, you know. Those connections is what makes the community stronger.
Community is what human beings make on their way to civilization. On their way to civilization. Sometimes, quite often, what I would suggest is that in the United States of America, we have not quite made it there yet.
You know, the United States makes us believe that is an individual. Like, if I'm doing good, then I'm good, and leave it at that. That's why we're able to have so much Black leadership and this city still not be where it should be for Black people.
Being able to bring back collectivism to the conversation, to our communities. And the ways in which we do that is the garden. We have our community Emoja garden, and we nourish people in our community through that.
You don't have to have that sideways danger that just comes because I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm sleepy. If we just took care of each other, if we just talked to each other, if we empathize with each other.
There is a bridge between the wisdom of the elders and the fire of the youth. One cannot move without the other. The elders hold the stories of the sit-ins, of the shutdowns. The youth bring the urgency, the creativity, the refusal to wait. Together, they are unstoppable.
If you're basically told implicitly or explicitly every day you go to school that your voice really doesn't matter because we're going to have you in this building and not once are we going to ask you, what do you think you should learn? For 18 years, that's going to be your experience. You're being implicitly told that we don't care what you think.
The leadership in South Atlanta, the neighborhood, has now gone back to a younger generation. The generation that I've had a chance to interact with is very progressively forward-thinking.
We're coming to this era where we're recognizing young people have a unique voice, an important voice, and also we could serve ourselves better as a community by being all together.
The organization that I worked with was called the National Football League Youth Education Town, or NFL-YET, locally understood as the YET Center. So I was bringing over my young folks that were over there here to do, we did BAM series or Build a Movement series here with the youth. We did a couple of series that were just focused on helping to build the leadership of young people.
That was part of the vision, and the strategy was to allow spaces where young people could flourish, could thrive, and really be at the center of the conversations being had. Before we get into the check-in, thank you guys for your contributions. We met our goal for our fund drive, our spring fund drive. Actually, more than that. So shout out to the amazing listeners.
That's great. We get to keep our show.
Yeah, and also this community space, this community media outlet gets to continue. And more young people have access to public broadcast and radio. So I love that for us.
This sister, her name is Nautica Jenkins. And I watched her come up from high school, come here. You know, she does a radio show every week. And now what she's doing is she's actually coaching 2 other young ladies how to be engineers too.
You Speak Truth is an opportunity for young people to have their voices heard on a platform that doesn't usually allow people of ages between 13 and 18 to have a platform on public radio. But outside of that too, you get to learn the skills of producing and writing, and you know, the literacy levels right now are really low. And so that's an opportunity there as well. Like it's more than just the resource. It's more than just the thing you're receiving.
This is more than a movement. This is Project South. Founded in truth, fueled by community, committed to liberation, and built to last.
This building and this process in Project South gives us the capacity of creating an example that we can learn from, as well as other organizations can learn from, and everything else. It's the growth to make this society that it was hopefully to be.
I'm hoping to see in 30 years our facilities expanded, more resources available, more after-school spaces, activities. I'm also hoping that Project South is an inspiration for other mutual aid spaces across the South, in Atlanta, in Georgia, all together, because that's what makes mutual aid so big and so pivotal in communities. Is it's a network. It's not just one place that exists. It's a bunch of places that exist.
30 years from now, I don't think we're going to be in a situation where we fixed and solved all of the problems, but I think liberation to me looks like the power of collective action to transform a society that's really sick into a society that is functioning, where instead of greed and transaction, we're dealing with mutuality.
I look forward to watching it transform into, you know, this even more stable space, so that it can be stabilizing for the people that live around it.
jërëjëf jaraw lakk maa ngi delloo njukkal dundu dee am ak ñàkk yow la ñuy sukkal yar ñu yor ñu yeeñu tax ñu di la sargal doon ñu tel ñu feeñu doon sunu paarbal tànk loxok nopp ba ci yoon bi ñuy jiital yoon bi ñuy topp doon bët bi ñuy niital ñoo ngi siyaar lëmb ñaar leer ci diggu lëndëm tàkk